Live edition. This is my first live edition. Hey, I ain't never did one live. You guys know normally I just jump on, do a deal short. If I do a deal short, that means it's not going to be 2 hours, right? That means it's probably only going to be like 30 minutes tops. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. But before I went to bed last night, the news broke. Uh, Caesar Pena, who's an associate, a business associate of DJ Envy of the Breakfast Club, was arrested on fraud charges relating to possible Ponzi scheme involving real estate properties, right? So we did a live on this earlier in the week, and just kind of keeping my eye on it. This has been kind of going on for a while now, a long while, like months. Like Tony the Closer is a big name in all this. I mean, on the hip hop side of YouTube world, he's been talking about this, and Spencer Cornelia picked it up. Shout out to Spencer. And that guy's really good with his exposés, and he kind of brought a lot to the surface. And so I spoke on it, and like DJ Envy, dude might be looking at a case. He might be looking at a case, man. And it's sad. It's sad to see these kind of things, bro. It really is. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if Envy was a victim because he is involved in this and has lost money. I say up to $500,000. But as this thing begins to unravel, I'm not sure how much of a victim he is. I'm not sure if he was aware of the criminal acts that were going on. I'm not sure if he was aware of it. I don't know how he could not be. But I don't know, man. When law enforcement gets involved, man, when the prosecutor's office gets involved, and they kind of look at your actions, bro, I don't know. So let's kick this off. There's an article that I wanted to just kind of check out real quick, man. So let's check out this article. And this is NBC4 out of New York. All right. And this was October 18th, 2023, 11:04 p.m. So this was like last night. Like I said, article was posted around 11 o'clock. I didn't see it until about midnight-ish. And I didn't even see this article. I just started seeing people pop up on YouTube. But radio DJ businesses associate arrested by feds in New Jersey real estate scheme. Investors in a real estate venture promoted by syndicated radio rapper DJ Envy say they've been swindled, and the claims are in the millions of dollars. So, yeah, man, let's get into this. Federal agents in New Jersey arrested a longtime business partner of popular radio host DJ Envy in connection to an alleged fraudulent real estate venture. The arrest came a week after the News 4 I-Team reported investors claimed they had been swindled out of millions of dollars. Caesar Pena, often promoted on DJ Envy's syndicated iHeartRadio show, The Breakfast Club, was arrested Wednesday on wire fraud. The federal complaint against Pena, 45, claims the man engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme to defund dozens of victims, and it might be more than dozens. Yeah. So this is just beginning, guys. Just so you guys know, as far as the investigation goes, I'm pretty sure they're ready to go to trial, but it's gonna be a little bit of a longer road to get there, but they're gonna get there. He's been arrested. That's the first thing. He got indicted. He's been arrested. Now they charged him. They've already charged him. So Envy, whose real name is Rashawn Casey, was not charged, but many of the alleged victims say they were influenced by his celebrity. So that's the part right there. The people who were harmed in this crime are saying that, hey, the only reason we got caught up in this nonsense is because of that guy right there, his celebrity. Right? That's DJ Envy. Federal prosecutors said Pena amassed a significant social media following through his partnership with Envy to attract his investors. Envy and Pena frequently teamed up for seminars to pitch opportunities to flip properties, often in distressed areas of New Jersey. As alleged in the complaint, Pena exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devout following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Pena allegedly defrauded dozens of people of millions of dollars, U.S. Attorney Philip R. Sillinger said in a press release on Wednesday. Investors have said Pena promised he would rehab a flip a property. He would rehab and flip a property with a return of 30% of the profits within months. Dozens of his alleged victims have now filed lawsuits saying they never got their money back. In a number of cases, Pena is accused of getting multiple unwitting investors to buy into one property that generated him a profit of several $million, right? So that's what's going on there. Right? That's what's going on there. So you have DJ Envy, he's a celebrity, huge following, especially in the black community, the hip hop world. He's on one of the top rated shows on radio, iHeartRadio, which is the Breakfast Club. This Breakfast Club has been around. Breakfast Club is so big that they interview people who are running for president. They interview everybody. You know what I mean? All of the big moguls, all of the big celebrities from Hollywood, all of the big rappers like Jay-Z and the Baby and Master P, and everyone who's coming up, you name it, that's one of the spots. If you're coming up in the world and you're doing really good and you can get on the Breakfast Club, yo, that means you've made it, or you are well on your way to making it, right? So that's how big that show is. Breakfast Club has been around forever. It's a radio show, and then they began to put cameras inside the radio studio, so they do a podcast as well, but just so you can actually see what's going on. His co-host Charlemagne the God, and then before, like back in the day, was Angela Yee was also a part of that, which was a pretty good thing. It ran for, it's still going now, right? So DJ Envy's a part of that. Envy has been with the radio in the radio business long before Breakfast Club. DJ Envy's net worth online, if you go look the stuff up, is around 6-7 million, right? But I think that's lowball because he has a car collection that's probably worth almost that much. So he's been in real estate, buying properties and all that kind of stuff. Envy's been out there doing good things. But he got tied in with this guy, this Cesar Pena guy, who was an ex-convict. Dude was locked up for fraud, right? For something he did back in the day. Got out. He had some epiphany in jail. He saw the light. He got out, and now he's like a legit businessman, right? That was the whole pitch. And they would go around and they would do these seminars. And people will come and they will pay big money, right? So I know a lot of people might be looking at this like, well, what does Envy have to do with this guy getting greedy possibly, or just going out here being a bad guy? Like, well, if I bring the wolf into the hen house, don't I have some responsibility for what happens to the hens, right? I mean, I brought them in here, right? And it's like, well, Envy got duped as well. Did he? Did he know at some point that something wasn't right? Did he get some of his money or all of his money back? Was he, what was going on with that? Right? And there's a quick clip we want to play from Spencer Cornelia. This is from his YouTube channel. Go check it out. Spencer Cornelia, he has built a whole YouTube channel around going after grifters and going after criminals who go out there and defraud folks or whatever. Dude, I gotta tell you, he does good work. He does good work. I don't agree like with a lot of the stuff he does, and some of the stuff just kind of silly. But he gets out there, bro. He gets out there and does his thing. And he puts it together really well. So shout out to him. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I want to show you a quick clip from one of Spencer's exposés on DJ Envy and Cesar Pena. And this will show you why DJ Envy has a lot to worry about. You're going to watch this clip and it doesn't seem that Envy is completely innocent in all this. Let me just pull this up for you guys. I'm here to tell you, bro, like I said, it just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Right? So let's give this a quick watch, shall we?
Can't reach it. What's not a joke is the amount of victims in this investment scheme. I only know of about 20, which brings us to DJ Envy.
And we only expected like 50 people at the seminar that we did. The first one we did, it was like 1,500 people. And 10,000.
Because of DJ Envy's influence, he was able to sell out large rooms for his real estate seminars with Cesar Pina. Many of the complaints explain how they met with Cesar because of watching him on stage at the seminars.
We currently own and manage and also have projects that we're building now from the ground up of 3,000 units.
This video was filmed in June 2022, the same month a mortgage company was foreclosing on them on their primary residence.
They've been,
and like you're looking at these quick clips, these quick cuts he's doing. That's the studio of the Breakfast Club. So it's not as if Envy was working with this guy just out and about somewhere separate doing these videos. A lot of these videos were done in the studio of the Breakfast Club, which is iHeartRadio, which when people start suing, right, they might start, lawyers are going to be like, we're going to sue iHeartRadio as well. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits flying around. There's the criminal stuff and there's going to be civil stuff. DJ Envy might have gotten iHeartRadio into something they don't want to be mixed into because Envy has this guy in his studio and they're promoting the events in the studio. You have millions and millions and millions of people, both in the city, surround like the tri-state area of New York, Jersey, and all that. And you have the entire world watching via YouTube. And he's putting this stuff out. But he's in the studio of iHeartRadio. So I just wanted to point that out to you real quick. Let's continue.
Paying like $2,000-3,000 for seminars, $5,000 seminars. And when they get to the seminar, they don't learn anything. Then to talk to people, they got to pay more money. And we tried to stop that.
It's alleged in the complaints that they did the opposite. Following the speaker presentations, members of the Pina Network, including DJ Envy, set up booths at which they offered private consultations with seminar attendees. They obtained all of their contact info, and then they sized up the financial resources in order to solicit attendees with high net worths for their joint ventures, and then offering consulting services with Cesar for $1,500 to $2,500 per meeting.
So like this stuff, this part right here, like, so when, I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of those big seminars that are free for whatever product or whatever service or whatever they're talking about, right? That's how those things work. They do huge advertising blitz and all that kind of stuff. They get you to show up. It's free parking. It's free to attend. You get there. They'll have some amazing speakers. They'll talk, and they'll, to talk that talk. They walk that walk. Everybody's looking good, driving exotic cars and all that kind of stuff, wearing the big watches and everything. The women are wearing all of the Chanel and Hermes bags, and they got on all the jewelry and all that, right? So you're like, wow, man, these people have made it. And then after the seminar, well, if you want to speak to me directly, just come on up here to this table, sign up, and we can work something out. You know what I mean? If you want to buy our package on, mastering the blah, 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 you fill in the blank. You can buy our entry level packet at, and then here comes the money. It could be as low as $100. It could, it could be as high as, $25,000. They sell all sorts of stuff at these things. That's how it works. So I never went to one of these Pina Envy events. I had a friend who did. I never went to one, but a long, long time ago in California was a guy named Ray Reynolds, and I went to a few of his events. And Ray Reynolds back then had this project, this thing he was calling Incorporating You. His thing was getting everyone incorporated, explaining to you why you should be incorporated, the difference between a C Corp and a LLC and an S Corp, and the protections that you get from having a corporation. You can incorporate yourself, you can incorporate this, you can incorporate your dog, you can incorporate your car, do all this kind of craziness, right? What he was selling was information that anyone could get, right? He wasn't selling any secret sauce. He was simply giving strategies on how to incorporate and start bank accounts. And he talked about credit and talked about all his DUNS numbers and all this other kind of stuff. Everything he talked about was factual. But if you wanted to do his program and you wanted to get it done like now, you're going to have to pay for that, right? Incorporating you. I remember that. And a lot of people was like, oh man, Ray Reynolds he's a scammer. He's this and that and blah, blah, blah. He wasn't scamming you. This is what he charged, right? If you wanted this information the way he presents it, this is what he charged. Bam. Ray Reynolds didn't get locked up for nothing, right? He went from incorporating you to university stuff. Like last time I heard of him, this must have been, I don't know, maybe a decade or so ago. He was saying it, doing it, and incorporating you. He's like, well, moving on from incorporations because they were changing the laws. The government started to change the laws surrounding, being incorporated or whatever. So they got getting into, like university stuff, kind of like that Trump U kind of thing, the Trump University or whatever. Yeah, that's what he's getting into. Dr. B is in the building, man. What's good, fam? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Let me give you a horn blast real quick. It was good to see you, man. We only got to see each other for a hot second. I was down there networking my butt off, man. Shout out to Troy Francis. Pearl was in the building. Donovan Sharp. You know what I mean? We had the crypto bros were in there. You know what I mean? We had Miguel and Charlie were in there. So I was networking. My bad, bro. And then we didn't see you on Saturday. King came through, you know what I mean? Big Mo came through. We was all there. We didn't see you on Saturday, man. Like we figured because y'all went out, y'all were to social and whatever and had dinner and all that. We were in Empire. And yeah, man, I was hoping I would see you then because we was all just chopping it up, man. We was in there for a couple hours, bro. But it was good to see you, man. Can't wait. I look forward to the next event. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll come up, maybe I'll come holler at you, bro. I forget. I think you're in New York. You know what I mean? GMC Hammers in the building. What's good, Night? See you in a couple days, bro. We'll see you in a couple days. Brother Pitney's in the building real, you know what I mean? Real quick. Nothing better than starting the morning with Uncle Saying, I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, a live DL short. Yeah, I had to do a live short, bro. Head to my other night right there, Jack Black. Had to do a live one. And so, yeah, we're going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. We're going to wrap this up. But when you go to those free seminars, man, you're going to anything free. They're going to try to sell you something. It's the whole reason they got you to gather up there. And DJ Envy, you heard him. He's like, oh, we're going to set up the seminar. We thought 50 people would show up. 5,000 people showed up. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where people were paying money to come to these seminars. They was paying like 5,000. And look what they were offering. Like, oh, if you want to, Caesar Pena would give his speech. I'm a mogul. I'm worth, tens of millions of dollars. And I be flipping these properties and I know how to do it. And if you want a one-on-one private meeting with me, you can just pay me $1,500 to $2,500 for a meeting. We could talk about it. So you would pay him this money. He would bring you into his office. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he made sure you walk by the Maybach or whatever he was driving. I'm pretty sure they had all the stuff around the office. You come into the office, and then he basically pitches you to invest with him. So you're paying him $1,500 to $2,500 so he can pitch you an idea for you to give him his money. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dr. B was like, yeah, Saturday was a long day, man. He was done after 10 p.m. Right? Everybody's like, yo, where's Dr. B at? Yeah. Like King was saying, yo, we figured you went to sleep, bro. We figured that's what it was. And like, yeah, you're right. He did kick Pixie out, bro. Uncle Sing had to put out a couple fires. We had to make sure Pixie got out of there for him. So, Uncle Sing took care of that. And we did it very, very politically. We were very diplomatic about it. And actually, I was hanging out with Pixie after the event was over. Was hanging out with Pixie and Lauren De Laguna. Yeah, Laura De Laguna. And actually, her and I are going to collab, bro. We're back and forth with DM, and we're going to talk about this topic. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about what's going on. So, yeah, that's true. What you heard is true. He did put her out. I didn't know who Pixie was, but I met her. I ain't going to lie to you, man. Ain't nothing wrong. She's pretty cool. I ain't tripping. But we had to get her out the VIP. Yeah. Sharp did kick her out. And we were standing right there when it went down. All of us were standing right there. Matter of fact, I was talking to Pearl, and that it popped off out of nowhere, bro. It was and look, she's the lawyer. So she's actually, I asked her too, like, what type of law is she planning on practice? She's going to practice criminal law. So I sent her this information about DJ Envy. We're going to do a live, the two of us, and we're going to really delve into it. But this is just a quick short. So let me finish this. So let's watch the end of this video real quick.
Meeting at his office. It seems that every meeting in his office turned into a pitch for his joint ventures.
And, there's also a lot of seminars out there that are trash and that people are playing off your hopes. So
these events, which starts becoming a marketing funnel, right? People start now coming into mentorships. They come to these events to be able to get game. But then most of these events, there's that same thing that you talked about that you don't like, the upsell. See, because I pay attention, right? You had a major problem with people who had live events and then they didn't teach much information, and then they do these upsells for higher mentorships, et cetera, investment opportunities. Well, it seems as if that's what's now happened with you and Caesar.
Now let's analyze Envy's potential.
So that last bit right there, that was Tony the closer. He was doing a live with Envy, and he was just kind of breaking it down. And Envy, like, hey man, you're doing an upsell now. I can say this. When I was in LA before I retired, one of my homeboys, actually my business partner, you know what I mean? And when I say I use the term loosely, we just real tight. And like, we'll be passing information back. He'll tell me what he's doing, and then we'll do research on that. Like, yeah, that's good. He went to one of DJ Envy's events in LA. This was, man, a long shit, man. This probably was like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. You know, I don't know if I might have the dates mixed up, but it was back then, right? And when he went there, he said that everything was free. Because I told him, like, hey, man, normally you go to those events, man, they're going to try to sell you something. He went, and he was like, nah, man, they ain't try to sell me anything. He said that they had people who were talking about credit repair. They were there. He said there was people who were talking about, financing and getting loans. There were people there talking about, like, the paperwork between, like, joint ventures, LLCs, C Corps, and all that kind of stuff, right? So people help you, like, they talk about how to form your corporations or whatever you're going to do. They were all there. They weren't selling anything. And after the seminar, you can go up and talk to them, and they would give you their business cards. You have an accountant, right? You would have a certified financial planner there. You would have different people. And of course, on your own time or whatever, y'all can call and, you can look at their rates. If you want to hire these people for their services, you could do it. But they didn't do it at the venue. You couldn't cut a check, according to what, unless I misunderstood him, like, you couldn't cut a check and buy something, a mentorship or buy into or whatever. So it looks like that Envy changed. It looks like it changed. Right? Because you saw, that quick clip, how it was like a small room, and then you had another room that was a little bigger, and you had even a bigger room, and you got all these people sitting there listening and paying attention and ready to spend their money. It may be like Tony the closer was saying, it's like, hey man, you should speak on these people, the upsell and all that. You said they was whack, but here you are upselling. And maybe Envy didn't know. There's a possibility that Envy did not know what Caesar Pena was doing. I don't see how that's possible, but so that's it right there, man. I'm gonna stay on top of this, guys. I'm gonna stay on top of this one. It's not looking good for Envy. He tied himself, to a criminal. You can't do that. You tie yourself to a criminal, and you moving out there, and you putting your reputation, your name, and you mixing it in with this criminal. And trust me, they don't care about you, right? They gonna do what they do, and then when the police come, they gonna say you knew about it. There's absolutely no honor amongst thieves. That's a done deal. DJ Envy is going to wind up with a problem here. Maybe he was the patsy. Maybe he was the kingpin, the mastermind. Whichever one it is, he going to wind up having to deal with this. Maybe the prosecution is giving him an opportunity to make people whole. But even if DJ Envy comes out and let's say that it was, I don't know, $6 million of losses out there that the prosecution have, and let's say Envy pays all $6 million to make everyone whole, the crime is still there. Even though people have been made whole, the crimes were committed. And if they can tie him to the crimes and say he was some sort of accomplice or some sort of co-conspirator or something like that, you still gonna have to deal with some sort of conviction, and that conviction is gonna carry some sort of penalty. It's gonna be some kind of jail time, right? And then think about iHeartRadio. How long before they let DJ Envy go? And even if they don't let him go right away, maybe he's coming up on the end of his contract. Are they going to renew his contract? Think of all the people who are paying attention to this, right? I mean, his name is now tied forever to some two-time felon, right? Because the guy was already locked up once for this type of thing. He's getting locked up again. He ain't beating this case. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to get Lauren on here, and we're going to really delve into the legalities behind it. I sent this information to Myron Gaines for Fatted, and he said he's gonna dig into it. He's like, I'm gonna look into this deeper. I just sent that to him, I think I sent it to him last night, and this morning, well, dude he don't go to sleep. So around 4 in the morning, dude he hit me back. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna delve into this. So, and if Myron does, that's gonna be a really good episode, because when he does his FETIT, he goes and gets the actual indictments. He goes and gets all of the paperwork, and he breaks it all the way down, because he used to be a federal agent. He used to do this sort of stuff, right? So that's all we got for now, guys. Stay tuned, right? And when we get more information comes in, we're gonna let you know. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would not be surprised at all if DJ Envy gets arrested behind this. I will not be surprised at all. That's the first thing. Second thing, I'm almost certain that iHeartRadio is gonna let him go. He's gonna lose that Breakfast Club slot. So now Breakfast Club, Angela Yee is already gone. DJ Envy has to have at least one foot out the door. He has to know it. And then you got Charlemagne. So all you're gonna have left is Charlemagne and whoever they replace him with. So Breakfast Club is about to get extremely ghetto. Shout out to Charlemagne, but you hood, bro. You hood. So we're gonna see how this plays out. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all popping in for my very first DL Short live edition. Expect some more of these. And I'm gonna be back today, y'all. We got to talk about what's going on in Israel. We got to talk about this war. This war has the potential to turn into a conflict that's gonna engulf the entire planet. We have 2 carrier strike groups over there right now. 2 carriers, like two carriers and all their support vessels. So there are basically 2 fleets, right? There's 2 fleets over there, 2 carrier strike groups over there. Each strike group has at least 2,000 Marines. Actually, it's about 3,500 Marines. They have like ships to support those Marines. They have landing craft. They have helicopters. They have like Harrier style jets, you know what I mean? And F-35s, I guess the stealthy, vertical takeoff and landing jets. And then you have the big carrier. That's on a little carrier. Then you got the big carriers that have all the F-18s and the AWACS and all that other kind of stuff. They got submarines over there, right? Those things never go out with submarines to protect the bottom, right? It's escalating, guys. I'm gonna come back today. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, man. So it's all good. Thanks again for rocking out with us. You know what I mean? This has been the very first DL Short live edition. Brother Pitney, does the Middle East really want that smoke? Yeah, they want that smoke, man. Iran's already said they want it. Turkey's getting involved, and Turkey's going to be on the side of the Iranians, right? Russia and China are already talking and trying to do some stuff. Yes, people are posturing, bro. Yes, they want the smoke. They want the smoke. It's crazy. I know it's crazy, but the people in the Middle East, man, they don't care, bro. They don't care. They want the smoke. It's gonna be wild, bro. I tell you who doesn't want the smoke. Egypt. Egypt don't want the smoke. They might not have a choice. We're gonna talk about it later. So we're gonna talk about what's going on in the Middle East later on today. I promise you. We're gonna do a proper downrange podcast on that. I'm gonna do downrange, and I really want to know simulcast kind of thing. So it is, man. Like, they don't want it so far. Nah, bro. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a whole other show for sure. So that's it. I'm done. Thanks for rocking out with me, fellas, man. Y'all know how I get down, man. I'm DL saying this was a DL Short live edition. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.